everyone. This is Donna's Happy Hour. Just a reminder to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you get future notifications of the videos. And please leave a comment. Thank you. Have a great day. Now let me ask
What
you
a
this.
calling card.
And I don't know if this is something that you want to answer. You don't have to.
That's okay.
But who would you say is your all-time favorite drummer?
All time. Well, I have a
Or
particular
who
bias
right,
because
okay.
I've worked a lot with Dennis Dyken, and he is wonderful to work with. That's why he's on. He's a dear friend.
Okay.
But I mean, there is a picture in there. I mentioned Hal Blaine. A lot of great,
Let me see if
really great drummers have cited him as being
No, that's not.
That's Larry Harkey.
Okay.
And Chris Briefeld with of the Beatles with
Okay.
the tickets in front of his face.
Yeah.
There's a picture of me with one guy, and that
Okay.
one guy is Hal Blaine when he was here playing in New Jersey, and Dennis took me to see him play.
Okay.
And we got a picture of the two of us together. This
see,
is me, and I think he's got his thumbs up or something like that.
That's not
Just
him.
a picture of me and him standing up together
Okay.
somewhere.
Up right here.
There it is.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah,
There
so
we
that's
go.
Hal Blaine. That would have been probably sometime in the 90s.
Right. Okay.
Or
Wow.
probably 96, 97, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Hal would, I saw an interview or heard an interview where he name checks Dennis as being one of the fine young drummers.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, and Dennis got a chance to meet Bobby Graham, who was one of his heroes, and he was doing a show in England, and they brought Bobby Graham to the show.
Right.
And Dennis got to meet him afterwards and said, could you hear a little bit of your influence in my playing? And Bobby Graham turns to his wife and says, what did I just tell you earlier? And she said, you sound more like him than anybody he's ever heard.
Wow. No kidding. Oh, really? Oh, wow. Wow.
Something on that order, like, it sounds like me.
Yeah.
And, there's like, if you listen to early Kinks stuff,
Okay.
there's
Love the
like
Kinks.
a certain kind of ba.
Yeah.
You can, and once in a while I'll hear Dennis do that. and I'm
Dennis
like,
do that.
Bobby Graham.
Yeah. See, it is interesting to see how you were, people were influenced by other musicians, other.
Yeah. I loved Ringo, loved Keith Moon,
Right.
Those were drummers I really, I came to appreciate John Bonham later. I wasn't a big Led Zeppelin fan, but I mean, at one point I had to learn. I think the song remains the same, and you're listening to his foot, and it's like, how does he do that?
Yeah.
So a lot of times in studying people's, especially when you're playing, that's one of the good things about playing in cover bands.
Right.
Is you get to learn what it is, because you have to learn how to play this stuff, and it's like, wow, this is really good.
Right. Right. What's so amazing is, and this is for me, for dancing, of course I basically was always in studio, in class,
Right.
And it absolutely amazes me when I watch these dancers that are pretty much, you want to say, street dancers.
Right. They just have the feel.
And they just have a feel, and they're just they're taking any music. Now you got to remember, for me, we would practically use the same music every week.
Right.
These guys can dance to anything.
Right.
And the same thing, when you have an artist that's, there are no words to explain,
There are, what happens, there are guitar players who are largely a product of, they just woodshed, they study everything, and they are just, so committed. I just ran into one of my friends who's like that, and he's, the whole time that he's been locked down, he said, you want to hear what I'm going to be playing like when I come out again, because, I've been woodshedding like crazy, and I'm like, I don't practice.
But you
like,
play so often that
right,
it
and
is practice. I mean, that's, it's...
And I'm about writing songs, too.
Right.
That's a big thing. But then there are other people that you know, and I mean, kind of Jimi Hendrix fell into this category. I mean, obviously he worked hard at being Jimi Hendrix and becoming phenomenal,
Right.
but he also was just totally unique.
Yes.
You know, and
Yes.
that's something that you can woodshed until hell freezes over. Some people are just unique,
Well,
and they have a
right.
different bent, and their take on the instrument is just unique, and they have something fresh to bring to it.
Right, and
You
it's
know?
interesting because I did read up a little bit on Jimi Hendrix, that you brought him up, and according to what I've read, he went nowhere without that guitar. That guitar was like
That was another limb.
another limb. Exactly, well
Right.
put, Chris. Yeah, and it is interesting when you meet people like that. That is just such an extension of
Oh, yeah.
yourself. But you're kind of
In a way,
you
yeah,
you are,
in a way.
you know.
different, but yes,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
true. I think there's people who probably wouldn't recognize me without a guitar.
No, well, I don't know about that, but you certainly your guitar is, you know,
That's a big part of my
it
personality.
is a big
yeah.
part of your personality. So let me just, before we go, because we do have just a minute or two.
Yeah.
So if anybody is interested in purchasing a CD or
It's-
wants to hear more of your music, you're on YouTube. Are you on?
I'm on YouTube. There's
Okay.
actually, you know, the band that played with me on the record. There is live footage of. It's either under my name, Chris or Christopher Bolger, or you can also find it under. The band was actually called the 413s. That was
Okay.
the band that I was in. That Dennis and Graham
Okay.
played with me, and you know the rest of the guys doing my music. And there's 2 different shows that we did at Maxwell's, and there's footage of those.
Okay.
And then there's also some random stuff. There's a clip of us at the cutting room, at the living room,
Okay.
doing one of the songs that ended up on the record. There's all kinds of other random stuff there too, but
Okay.
but that stuff, the Maxwell shows really, you know, Steve Gechter's on one of them, and my dear friend Les Elfenbein played keyboard in the first of those 2 shows.
Okay.
And there's a great guitar player who accompanied me named Lance Doss. There's also another cool thing to find is
Okay.
there's actually us, the 413s, at the Edison Museum.
Oh, okay.
We did a live cylinder recording session there,
Oh, neat.
and Graham and Steve and Dennis and Michael Post,
Okay.
who I also played with a lot. Great guitar player. And yeah, that was a lot of fun, and there's video footage of that at Edison Museum.
Oh, neat. Wow. All right. Well, I want to thank Chris again for joining me.
Thank you.
I want
was fun.
everyone to be safe and, you know, don't go stir crazy this winter.
You can still go out and walk.
That's right. Yeah, there's lots of things you can do. Anyway, thank you, everyone, and see you next week.
Bye-bye.